please bear with me. This is my first time I'm doing this, and I would like to extend a very warm thank you to Mr. Michael Barnett and Mrs. Sue Snowden and Ms. Carrie Kensington for giving me this opportunity to even be here. And so what happened was, I usually organize little picnics and little get-togethers on Bingham Island, especially when our president is in town. And so it was just an ordinary day. It was Saturday, the 18th of March. And I had a little bit of a rough week. My 19-year-old cat just died, and so I was a little down. So when our president is in town, it's usually an uplifting weekend for me personally. And so we were just sitting under a tree, me and my friends, my 6 other friends. And we got a notification from a person that was from the Palm Beach Post that President Trump's on his way back from the golf course. And so we positioned ourselves on the street with our signs. You know, I always write Germans for Trump because I'm German. Also American now. And so we positioned ourselves. He drove by with his motorcade. And I think Larry Snowden was in the car with him and saw us standing there. And we were actually hoping that he would get out of the car and perhaps stop and wave or something. But he drove by on that day. We were still happy that he saw us. Apparently he saw us very well, because about 15 minutes later, a van pulled up, and out comes, I think his name was Jason Connor, and said, I'm from the White House staff, and President Trump saw you all standing there. He would like to invite you to Mar-a-Lago to greet him. And we were about to, thinking, oh yeah, that's probably a snowflake joke. Thinking this cannot be true, absolutely not. So we asked for identification, believe it or not. We said, can we see some ID? And sure enough, he pulled out his ID, and we couldn't believe it. I mean, I just said, yeah, let's hop in the van. I mean, we left everything behind. We had just our key and our phone with us, and got in the van, and I was wearing a hat where it says "Make America Great Again," and that hat actually, President Trump flew, or at that point, candidate Trump, flew in the crowd at the Sarasota rally, and I just happened to catch that hat. And so that day I was wearing that hat, thinking this must have been my lucky hat. So anyway, so we were in the car, we got in that van, and we were just, me and my friend Christy, we couldn't believe it. I mean, this video, by the way, went everywhere. Even CNN and ABC had it on their site, which is very surprising. But you know, it was just a very raw excitement video where we were thinking, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? I mean, we were thinking, what are we going to say? We're meeting the president. We couldn't even believe it. So we just got through the 2 security checkpoints, and then we were walked into the ballroom of Mar-a-Lago. I mean, we were just standing in there in complete awe, thinking, this cannot be true. I mean, we couldn't even believe it. And then we were just standing there, and we were told maybe what not to do, which would be run toward him and hug him, and or bow down. So Jason just instructed us to just stay calm and just be ourselves. And he then asked, you know, instead of you guys taking photos and videos, I take one of y'all's cameras and I take the photos so you all can relax and talk with the president. And so I gave him, of course, I handed him my camera right away. I said, oh God, then I can Photoshop the photos, so this is perfect. I was thinking. And anyway, so I gave him my camera, and so we were waiting. And in comes the waiter with a tray of Trump water. He must have saw that we were about to faint. I mean, I don't know. So we, of course, never drank that water. It's still in my house as a souvenir. Turns green, probably. But anyway, so we were just standing in line, and there comes in President Trump with Steve Bannon and a few security people, and he just walked in like. I mean, it was just so easy. He was so gracious that he even did that, and so humble. Then when he actually stood in front of us, he introduced himself, he shook everybody's hand, and each one of us was able to share a few words with him. I, in my case, used to work for, maybe you guys know him, for a gentleman by the name of Ronald J. Woods, who owned the Palm Beach magazine, Palm Beach Illustrated. He sadly passed away in 2013, but he was a good friend of President Trump. He spoke many times with me, also argued with him on the phone all the time, and I overheard that. But they were really close since many years. And so my wish was that I could tell President Trump one day that Ron Woods would have been so proud to know that his good friend is the 45th president. So this is really what I wanted to tell him. And so I had my chance. So when it was my turn to shake his hand, I said, President Trump, I would like to tell you that, you know, Ronald J. Woods, who sadly passed away, and he said, yes, I know. I said, I used to work for him. I was his massage therapist. I'm a licensed massage therapist. And his vegan cook, I was cooking for him also. He had cancer. And you know, I said he would have been so proud of you. And also, I said to him, I said, you know, I am a legal German, legally from Germany. I'm here since 20 years. I came in the country legally, so I made sure I say that, so I don't get deported. But I also had to go through a very hard vetting process. So it's not just some people, it's really everybody. So I too had to go through a very hard vetting process. But I told him that I have seen the infiltration and the harm that was done to Europe, and how the Europeans, the Germans especially, suffer through not going through an extreme vetting process, and that we really, really need this in this country to keep everybody safe that's here. And I said, please implement and stay strong with when it comes to the vetting process. And he said he will, and then he mentioned Angela Merkel, who was just here the day prior. Wow. And he said, have you seen the interview? And we were like, yeah. And then he mentioned the fake media, and it was just funny. And then it becomes better. Oh God, I cannot even believe I did that. But so then there was also a photographer there from the Mar-a-Lago staff. And she took individual photos of us when it was time to take a photo with President Trump. So it was my turn, I stood next to him, and we stood, and I was like, oh my God, I hope everything looks good. He actually took his hat off for a moment just to rearrange his hair because he just got back from golfing. Took his hat off, and I looked to him, and he was very tall, and I said, oh my God, it is your real hair. I mean, I swear, I can't believe to this day. I said, but then people, I'm German, I'm blonde, and I used to be a hairdresser, and it's like just typical, I couldn't help myself. And he laughed, I mean, he said, oh my gosh, so he laughed, and I laughed, and then in that moment, that photographer took our photo. So we had this photo of me and him laughing was exactly that when I said that. I mean, I didn't mean to embarrass him or anything, but it was just like the bluntness and Jennifer Eden. So anyways, so we went for this, everybody said a few words, and then the driver brought us back to Bingham Island. We were hoping our stuff was still there, and everything was still here. We took one last photo with him, and off he went, and then so I exchanged email addresses with all the other 6 people, and that was it. So I want to say thank you all for, I mean, even listening to this. It's kind of funny, and for this opportunity. It has very uplifted my spirit because I have been very down that week, and for a few reasons. But this has really, my patriotism to this country has really come out, and also for the patriotism of Germany, because the Germans and the Europeans really suffer for what is going on there. The open border policy is a complete nightmare, and it has nothing to do with racism or Muslim ban or whatever. I'm German, I'm Christian, so everybody should go through that. So it was just a very uplifting moment, and so I want to say God bless you all. Thank you for listening. God bless America. God bless our President Trump.